Hey everyone, something unusual is happening in my plant collection right now. Five of my serrated leaf philodendrons are all flowering at the same time. How crazy is that? And since it's all happening at the same time, it just got me wondering about the possibilities. Like, I could possibly collect pollen and then cross pollinate some of these philodendrons to create some new hybrids. Wouldn't that be freaking amazing? So I'm gonna go through and show you all these plants real quick, give you an update on the plants and show you the inflorescence, and let's talk about the possibilities of what could actually happen. Stay tuned. Okay, so first up is my Philodendrin Pluto, and I'll get in close here and show you the inflorescence. There it is right there. Look at it. Um, this plant is pretty cool. It's one of my favorites. And it's kind of unique. When I posted video about this for the first time, a lot of you commented that you'd never seen this plant before, but I actually have not run into this exact variation anymore. I have seen like smaller versions of what I think is the Choco Empress, but I'm unsure. So, but this is the Philodendron Pluto, again, one of my favorites. And so part of what is possible here is, what would it look like if I was able to cross, say, the Philodendron Pluto with, this is the Ring of Fire mint. It's let me show you this. There's the inflorescence there on the first leaf, and it's actually starting to put on another inflorescence there. So why is this happening? I'm not really sure, other than the fact that I just switched nutrients. I went from a organic nutrients that I was using in my for watering all my plants. I do a weekly kind of system. I do a diluted bit of liquid fertilizer that I use kind of all the time. So whenever I water the plants, or that's also used in my reservoirs if they are on a semi-hydro, growing in semi-hydro with the reservoir. So I use the same nutrients to water all my plants, whatever method. So yes, I don't know if it's coinciding with that. That is the reason why all of them are happening, flowering at the same time. But I'm just enjoying it. It's kind of cool. I'm not going to jump to immediately that, oh, it has something to do with me and how I'm taking care of them. But I'm doing pretty good, I think. So back to this plant. This plant is the Ring of Fire mint, but it basically operates more like a mint version of a jungle boogie or a golden crocodile. It's not like your traditional Ring of Fire. And since I've had it, this one, when I first got it, it was it was doing great. And then it put out a green leaf. I was trying to figure out what this plant needed to minty, ghosty leaves. So I put it under a grow light, and I did get some very almost white leaves, but I think I overdid the grow light. So it it started misbehaving, but I think it also might have had some pest issues going on. I, as I look at this now, I'm wondering if, no, that's not, it's not pest damage. Just that mint variegation pattern showing up. But back to this plant. This plant presents, and it works out to be more like a Philodendron Florida ghost. How that plant will put out the really light colored leaves the more light it gets. So, and my experience with this plant bore that out. So when I put it under the grow light, the leaves did come out white. There was actually one that was almost completely white, but it was suffering from, I think, what was the insect damage. So I removed it already, so it's not on here anymore. And so it's starting to go through another growth spurt, and it's flowering. So I guess it's doing okay. This plant actually acts more like a Philodendron Florida ghost than a minted version of a Ring of Fire, because the leaves are all like a consistent color. Here's the most minty version right there. But yeah, and this one right here. But I got to put this plant on a pole, coca-cola pole. But that leaf is gorgeous. But you can see, once I put it under the grow light, it had some extra floor nectary spot that it was exuding underneath the leaves. And that's one of the things I don't like about some of these plants. Um, if it gets too much light, sometimes those extra floor nectaries will burn under the leaf. it's either that or pest damage, and I'm assuming that it's the extraflora nectary. I could be wrong. If you know, you have a better explanation for what that is, please leave it in the comment section. I would love to know. I have treated the plant, and so if it did have pest issues, I think it's righted itself because this is the newest leaf. It's I had it further away for the light, so it's not as minty. So I'm gonna move this plant into a brighter spot now that it's warming up, and I can kind of spread some stuff out and put some things back outside. It's been a space constraint inside over the winter, but yeah, this is the Ring of Fire mint. So let's move on to the next plant. Let's, so next up is my Philodendron Golden Crocodile. I just did a almost 2-year update video on this plant. And so let me bring it closer. Here's the inflorescence there, and this is the newest leaf, and let me spin it around. It also is developing an inflorescence that's there. It's just starting to emerge as the leaf continues to harden off and get larger. But yeah, this plant is amazing. I love it. Again, this was my first philodendron actually, so it kind of kick-started this whole process. So now that it's flowering and all of them are flowering, it's kind of amazing that I get to embark on possibly collecting pollen from this plant and these other plants and possibly hybridizing them and creating my own hybrid. That would be so freaking cool. I'm really excited about that possibility. So yeah, this is the Golden Crocodile again. It's beautiful, it's stunning, but wouldn't it be cool to have let me put this back over here and I'll show you the Ring of Fire. Now I have, so this is the Ring of Fire, and this plant has actually been struggling. As I look at it now, it does look like it, I can't tell if these are like, they're not, I'm not sure. But this plant, it's been putting out significant amounts of extraflora nectary. All these leaves, the undersides of all these leaves are covered with these tiny little crystalline droplets. I don't know if you can see that. And the whole plant is just sticky to the touch. And yeah, it had some sunburn from when I brought it in the house from last fall, and it's put out a couple of leaves, but all of them have been covered in all of these little spots that are exuding all that extraflora nectary. And again, I'm not sure if it's pest damage or just an over excessive nutrients. Is it? I'm not sure what is causing it. Again, if you have any answers on possible causes for this, please leave them in the comment section. I would love to know, because yeah, this is still new for me, especially trying to figure out what to do with these inflorescences. So if you have any information on that, I have done some general research and trying to prepare myself for what might come with the possibilities if I'm able to collect some pollen and cross-pollinate some of these. But let me show you the plant. The next plant, I do know that the plant, each inflorescence has two parts, a male part and a female part, and they open up in at different times. So it's usually over a 2-night period. The first night, the male portion opens up and it releases pollen. And then the second night, the female portion becomes active and it is receptive to receiving pollen. And the way it's set up is kind of a self built-in mechanism to prevent self-pollination because it happens at different times. So it's a forcing of the plants to be able to cross-pollinate and not self-pollinate. So, you know, genetic protection built into the evolutionary process of this plant, this natural occurrence of reproduction for these plants. So let me show you the big boy here. This is my Choco Empress philodendron, and this plant is massive. Oh my gosh, this plant is massive. And there is the inflorescence there, and it is just rising up. And this is the latest leaf that it's emerging from. No, I'm sorry. This is the latest leaf, and it is actually already preparing to put out its own inflorescence. So there will be two flowers on this plant, and this is the latest caterpillar. And so as this leaf continues to harden off, let's spin it around and show you. As this leaf continues to harden off and expand and get larger, then it will start putting that inflorescence out, and it will go through the same process. But it doesn't seem to have slowed down the plant's growth at all. It's still these, all of these plants have been consistently putting out leaf after leaf after leaf, and they have not been impacted by having to expend the extra energy of producing the flower head. So that's pretty amazing. But yeah, this is my Choco Empress. I want to put it down, and yes. So I am just like super excited about the possibilities. I would love to be able to create a narrow leaf kind of red version of the Golden Crocodile. So it would be a consistent color, but it would come out the burgundy color that the Choco Empress emerges, but it would have this narrow leaf structure of the Golden Crocodile or the Ring of Fire or the Ring of Fire Mint. Or what about the possibility of having a mint version of the Golden Crocodile, or a mint version of the Philidendrin Pluto, or a mint version of the Choco Empress? But what I'm really excited about is just the possibilities. So yeah, which one of these plants would you cross if you had the opportunity to do it? Or do you have any plants that are in your collection right now that are going through this process? Leave me some comments in the comment section. And as always, if you'd like to see more content like this, please like and subscribe. It really helps my channel. Thanks. I'm Plant Rob, and this has been an update. Thanks. Have a good one.